Hey, yeah, it's been like forever, guys. I haven't really done a video for I think it's been about 4, 5 or 6 months. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Well, it's good to be back, and I think I'm a bit settled or steady. I just relocated to Portugal, and been trying to settle in, but I'm a bit steady now, and I can get back into recording good content for you guys. Well, disclaimer: I'm going to be doing lots of new content, and this content will span from Windows security, Windows security, looking at Active Directory, but on Prime and also in cloud, all the way down to cloud itself, cloud security proper. Under the Windows space, we'll be looking at Active Directory, like I mentioned on Prime and also Azure. Then also we'll be seeing some cool, most recent forms of exploitation that could cover maybe SCCM stuff, doing some cool stuff with SCCM. Then also going deep using the law beans, Windows binary, specifically WIMIC and other ones, WMISR and other ones. Then also around the cloud, we'll be doing some DevSecOps stuff that would include integrating security, baking security into products from a CI/CD context. Got some cool stuff coming for you guys around that space. Then also a bit of binary analysis as well towards maybe after these initial phase. But for today, I've got something for you. It's this stuff I've actually had tried. It was something I was testing at work, and okay, this was me doing security at work. I did test this. It seems that it wasn't really flagged by Defender P2. I was a bit surprised why it wasn't flagged by Defender P2. Even other forms of defense that we have didn't flag it as malicious or suspicious, but I was able to use the this particular tool to elevate privilege. Again, adding myself to domain admin. But I'm not going to be doing this on my work environment. I did stage Windows. I pretty much built with Packer the Metasploitable 3, and I'm going to be using this Metasploitable 3 to demo this. You guys can actually try it, but don't try this on your work environment. You should set up a private environment and test it and see if it works. Now, what's this thing I'm talking about here? It's actually to this binary called Hypobrychium. I don't know how that's going to be pronounced, but I call it Hypobrychium. And as explained in the report here, I will leave a link to this report in the description. We would see that it duplicates on owned token from a running process without detection. Now duplicate the token of a running process and run a command. This is quite interesting. A bit into research, apart from what is being described here. Use when there is a process on behalf of a domain administrator or generate a CMD of any process. When used with an own process, PID, there will be no screen into the output in the CMD, but the shell works fine. Now the source will be published soon. Is actually I did compile it from what was supplied here. Again, this is actually written in Pascal. I did go into pretty much understand how this stuff works as I was reviewing it. I see it actually takes advantage of the duplicate token function, which is actually a security-based API for Microsoft. And now the duplicate token function, pretty much what it does is it creates a new access token that duplicates one already in existence. In context, if we're to look at that, pretty much you supply for the parameters you need an existing token handler, you need an impersonation level, then you need a duplicate token handler as well to be able to get this working. So in summary, looking at the minimum requirements, we can see pretty much that the duplicate token function create an impersonation token, which we can now pass in a function such as maybe a set threat token, which was what was done, and the impersonate logged on user. So there should be a logged on user, and the user should be a member of admin group. Actually, I'm a bit distracted. Okay, the token created by the duplicate token cannot be used in the create process as user function. Very, very important to note that, which requires a primary token. Now, to create a token that we can pass into the create process as user, we will need specifically the duplicate work is calling. We will need specifically the duplicate token X function, which is different from the duplicate token function. But this pretty much taking advantage of the duplicate token function. Now enough for the chitty chat. Let's try and get stuff working. So I've got this Windows server. I will quickly run an exploit on that server using Metasploits just to make it easy for myself. I think I'll go after port 445. Let me see if I can actually start console here, then use the DBN map to run a quick scan to see if maybe 4.5 is on that server, and probably try to exploit it. It's a vulnerable server anyway, so for your initial access, it could be done anywhere. You could even use a stolen credential to use stuff like maybe even RM to try to get in the server. But let's just work with Metasploit, see if we can get initial access. Then maybe hash dump. Then take a hash to do like a pass the hash using even RM. Yeah, that stuff can work. All right. I'll wait for this stuff to fire up correctly. Then we'll get dancing. Great. Now we will use DB and map. Let's see if we can actually use that. Okay, I can actually use it. So I'm going to run a scan on SV, and I'll do script. Uh, quickly check. Then I'll do minus P 445 10.0.2.9. That would be the IP address of the server. Okay, so we will run this scan, and this might take a while. So I'll pause the video, then I'll return when it's done scanning. Okay, so we can see that the scan is done. Result is back. Nmap scan actually found classic MS07, MS17010. I think we will just go with this one. I'll copy this. Then I'm going to search for this and use, I think I'll just use the Eternal Blue. Try to see if I can exploit the Windows server. Copy this. Then I will use this, and options, pretty much the payload is the meta payload, so we'll set g arrow host 10.0.2.9. Okay, that should be fine. Then we can actually run this or exploit or whatever you choose to go with. Okay, this will try to exploit that Windows server. If it works, we should gain a shell. Then we can now maybe try to see if we can upload Hypobrychium into that current folder. Then try to, okay, we got a shell, but I see there's actually a Ruby error being thrown here by this stuff. We're not sure why that is. Sysinfo. Okay, seems like it's the Windows server. Great. So let's try to hash. I think I'm going to be tempted to use a different technique. I'll hash dump on this, and I'll copy the admin hash. Then I'll use that to maybe use pass the hash with even Nginx. Okay, I'll copy just the hash. Okay, I'll go to a new tab. I think I've got a command there for even Nginx. Then I will try to use this to authenticate to the server. Okay, let's see if we can authenticate as the administrator. We just did. Okay, so we're pretty much in the current working directory of the administrator. We go back into the admin folder. Let's see if there's anything in there. Okay, some stuff. All right, so in our MetaPrater shell, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload, this thing is still dumping hash. That's actually a Windows server. So I did plug in a domain to the server. You can pretty much see a shitload of domain members dumping all the hash for me. Again, that's because I got admin logged in. If it was a normal user, I shouldn't be able to do all this stuff. A classic way, if you don't have access to domain controller, would be trying this on a machine that is connected to the domain. And even if it seems complex, you can find try out alternative methods. Maybe try to, if you are a member of the domain, try to add a machine account and maybe try to use that as a way to probably find your way around. But anyways, we will wait for this stuff to finish, then we'll get back into the progress. Okay, so we can clearly see that that is done. Now what I'm going to do is I will try to see if I can use this MetaPrater session to upload, if I can actually upload current directory. I'm my in administrator, in admin directory. I've got a bunch of random stuff in here. Okay, so can I use the upload function? Okay, I have actually cloned it. Hypobrychium is there, so I'm actually uploading it. And I'll go back to this other session here. If I ls, I should see Hypobrychium. Now I'm going to run a series of commands to get Hypobrychium working, and I just hope you follow suit. So first thing first, I want to query the session. The workflow is explained in the documentation. You can check that out. So I'll do the query session. I want to be sure that I have administrator. Now, this is local admin, not domain admin. It's just local admin. That should be fine. I can also see I've got Vagrant running. Okay, then I'm going to try as much as possible to use task list. If I can actually pass a V flag, then I can pipe this over to find string for Explorer. I'm looking for a token that I want to impersonate, and I think I will go for Explorer, the one running under the administrator context, which has this PID. So I will use the tool Hypobrychium to actually execute this. So I will go for let's see if I can actually just copy this, make it easy for myself, remembering that name, and also being lazy anyways, don't mind me. Okay, so paste this here, then I will run PID. The PID in this context is 7744. Okay, then I'll pass a params. Now the params, I'm going to run a command to add a user. Okay, so what we're going to do with the command, we'll do like a classic net user. Let's call ourselves Ben. Then let's give ourselves a password of keyboard, complex one, so it can be accepted. Then we'll add this to the domain. Okay, again, once again, do not try this on your office environment if you don't have permission to do that. Okay, you can see that it tried to execute it and it worked. Good, well done. So I just added the user. If I do like a net user Ben, we will see that there is Ben user belonging to a domain. Now, this is just a domain user. The goal for us is we want to take the domain user to maybe like a domain admin. So we're going to test this stuff. Just play around, try to see if we can actually add the same user to domain admin group. So we'll do a net group, sorry. Again, these are normal classic command we are familiar with. So we'll go for domain. This could be any group you want to add. This user to domain admins. Then I'm adding the username I'm adding is user Ben. Okay, so this should be good. If this runs without error, we just added ourselves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run that command again. Let's see, and we should see if it worked fine. Ben should be a member of domain admin. He's still just a domain user. So we're going to check that out. And why can't we actually get stuff working for us? Let's just quickly review the output of the command which was run. Domain admin Ben. Okay. Okay, integrity 3, good work. It worked fine. I'm going to go on the Windows server just to verify something here. Net user Ben. Let's see, domain membership domain. Okay, it's still a member of domain. So let's try to run that command again and review it. Let's see if we got it right. Probably we missed something. So we're running as the PID and we're passing the parameters. Net group. Now the group we add is domain admins. Then we are adding the user Ben to domain admin. There should be the command. Second time might be a charm. Running CMD net group Ben domain add. Okay, we see on the process ID 456 and integrity level is 3. I'm going to compare the integrity level to the initial command which we executed. Integrity level 3 as well. What was the first one that was executed? Integrity level 3. So that should be fine. Check one more time. Net user Ben. Okay, seems like Ben is not going to be elevated. We'll try this manually. Net user net group. I think I'll try to add the user Ben to the group manually. Let me see if that stuff works without Hypobrychium. Okay, so I think I did have a typo on my command and I did messed up. Okay, so I tried it again. Exactly the same command, but fixing the error, which I think was in the spelling domain admins. And I did run it the third time and it was a sham. And that ran successfully. Then immediately I verified net user Ben. And now we can see that Ben belongs to domain admins. I can also verify that here again for the second time and we will see that Ben is a member of domain admins. So at this point, there's a whole lot more we can do. We can try to maybe pretty much spin up a new session as the user, if we're on a Windows environment, can use a run as. I think run as I can pass the user, and in this context, the user will be Ben. Then I can also pass the domain. Then I can spin up maybe a partial or CMD. But I'm not going to be running that here because again, I'm actually remotely connected to this system. So, but again, this is what I want to showcase for today. Now, this probably was quick and quite fast because I just bought my break and I'm doing this my break. But if you need more details into context how this stuff works, you can always reach out to me. I'd be glad to actually walk you through. But I believe if you check out the guy's platform, you'll see he did leave a walkthrough, which can actually help you. But in context, it's good to understand exactly what this is taking advantage of. Beyond the fact that it's not detected by AV, you need to understand how it operates in the background, and that's what's going to really inform your knowledge about actually what you're doing. This is why I'm going to call it a shot for now. In the next video, I'll be doing some more cool stuff on Windows, privilege escalation. Please hack safely. If you don't have permissions, do not try this stuff. You might go to jail for this. All right. Have a good day and see you next time. Bye.